Hi everybody, this is Boog-S Reviews, and today I'm back with my weekly Walking Dead review. So today's weekly Walking Dead review will be on the Walking Dead Comic Series 1 Zombie Lurker figure. So, the Lurker does not come with any accessories, but he does come with a really cool play feature that I will show off. It's kind of like an accessory. So, a lot of his limbs come off. So the arm comes off here, and it looks really nice. I like how the peg looks like bone. That looks pretty good. Like on Tyrese, the peg just wasn't bone colored. I think that would have been really good if they would have done this for the Target Tyrese. But yeah, that looks really cool. And it's the same way with his hand. It pops off. And it looks like bone sticking out from the stump there. It makes it look like his hand was ripped off. And they even painted in the peg holes right there the blood and everything. So yeah, that looks really awesome. And then, let me put this back on here. There. The head comes apart, so it looks like it's falling off there. And that's, like I said, this thing is really detailed. Like the inside of its mouth there, just looks really good. It has some sculpting detail to it. And some nice bloody paint. That also looks really good. Let's go ahead and put that back on here. And then you can pull him in half. You can have him dragging his guts because he actually has a swivel right here. His guts have a swivel. So he can just do that like he's dragging himself. Actually, that kind of looks like he's using his guts to stand. There. So that is another really cool feature. It does tend to come loose, and also his guts right here, or his intestines I should say, do come apart. And it is painted really good. It has some nice sculpting detail to it. It has a wash of really dark red, and then the glossy red to make it look like blood. Now sometimes this will come loose. Actually, not sometimes, it does come loose quite often. But those guts look really nice. And then you can see he has a little bit of his spine showing right there. That's also painted really good, like all the muscles and stuff. Sculpted and painted really nicely. And so let's go ahead and put him back together here. So looking at the head sculpt, there's just something I really like about this zombie. I think it looks really creepy. I think it's because the eyes are all white, like no pupils, it's just pure white eyes. And that just looks really creepy. I like how he has scratches and pieces of his skin falling off everywhere. Now it has that dark red to it. Like, the whole figure, like, the skin has texturing. Almost like a leathery feel, like dried out and rotting. And that's pretty cool. Just like his arms right here, you can see all the paint shading. They have, the skin is like a greenish brown color. It's, I think it's mixed together. And then they did a black wash. And then they also did some red for all of his wounds and stuff. You can see there's his hand. They even sculpted in the fingernails and painted around the fingernails. So that looks really good. And like I said, he has bites and scratches all over him, like his torso right here. And then you can see a little bit of his spine showing right there, so when he pulls himself in half right there, you can see all the bones for like his rib cage and his spine right there. And now the paint is pretty different on his arm right here, like up here towards his shoulder. It's more of a green color, and it doesn't blend well with his lower arm right here. And then his pants have a nice sculpt detail to them. They also have a texturing as well. And they look really worn and dirty, because it has a wash of white over it, or a really light blue, and then the brown wash. And right here you can see that his leg has just been shredded apart. And again, I like how they used that glossy red to make it look like the tendons and everything. And he has a bite or scratch right there on his butt. That's kind of odd. But they sculpted the muscles in there, so that looks pretty cool. It really just amazes me how much paint detail there is. Like, even where the arm makes it look like it's cut off, they even painted that. They didn't paint down in it, but still, looks really nice. They also sculpted the muscles in right there. Now, it does have a habit of kind of having a little bit of a gap right there, but it's nothing major. And now his feet have a lot of paint and sculpt detail to them, because on top of having that leathery texture to his skin, like it's really dried out, they have a wash of black. It has a little bit of green and brown, and then right here his feet are bleeding from where he's walked on them since they're bare. And the black is kind of heavy on this toenail, but it works for the rest of it right there. Wait, I see a hair right there. But yeah, it looks really nice. And his left foot doesn't have any paint detail to the bottom of it. It has a little bit of sculpting. Now this one has a lot of paint detail to it and sculpting. It has the brown, green, light brown, and black to it. It doesn't have any blood though. I feel like since he does have bare feet and they do have blood on them, that they should have put some blood on the bottoms of his feet right there. But yeah, pretty cool. This is probably, well, not probably, this is my favorite Walker figure. It's kind of odd it's called Zombie Lurker, but still. So now let's go over his articulation. He has a double swivel head. They can move up all the way, and can look down all the way, and it can move side to side. He has ball jointed shoulders that can move out that far. This one has a swivel at the bicep. It's not really meant to move because it will have that gap in the bone we'll be showing right there. But it does swivel just a little bit. He has single jointed elbows. It also swivels side to side. And swivel wrists that just move up and down. The torso doesn't really move much because the shirt up there has a little bit of a gap into it so that it'll stay in there. So if you move it, you're going to get a bit of a gap like that. And as I said before, his guts have a swivel to them. That way you can make it like he's dragging his guts behind him. And of course, that piece fell out. I was saying earlier. Not really sure how it stays in there. I think it just barely stays in there by those ribs right there. So he doesn't have any torso articulation. You can move it, but it's not really meant to be moved. He has swiveled the thigh right here. Single jointed knee. And no articulation below the knee on his left leg. But on his right leg, he has a ball-jointed foot that can move down all the way. Or ball-jointed ankles, I should say. Moves down all the way, up just a little bit, and rocks just a little bit. So the articulation is better than what I thought it'd be on this. So I even like that he has articulated guts. That way you can pose them how you want. So now let's do some size comparisons here. Oops, knocked him over. Let me get him to stand. And then I'll do size comparisons. There. So up next, here he is, next to the Pincushion Zombie. Another comic series exclusive zombie. And this one wasn't even seen in the comics. I'm pretty sure it was just like an original design that they made. And it worked really well. I think I even have weapons that didn't even come with him in him. Up next, here he is next to the Punk Rock Zombie. This is another great Walking Dead figure that is a comic series exclusive figure. Or exclusive to the comic series. I don't mean he's actually an exclusive. And finally, here he is next to the bloody actual exclusive Rick figure. And they scale pretty good together. Rick doesn't want to stand since he does have that kind of weird pose going on. But they do scale pretty well together. So, overall, I'd highly recommend getting this Walker figure. It is definitely my favorite. I like how all the limbs are detachable. That is really awesome. And maybe if McFarlane continues to make exclusive figures, like the exclusive comic figures, they can make some more figures with like the detachable limbs, because that is a really awesome feature. So I would highly recommend this figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.